Shalom, shalom, all. Welcome to Gear Talk. www.getsostrong.com is our website and our yeshiva and our meeting place and everything there. And right now, I want to introduce to Rabbi David Katz. Good evening to you, Rabbi David. How are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's weird. I study so much with you. I get to see the sun go down on your shoulder and come up in the mornings, and the birds are singing like this morning.
I know.
So,
that's it's like I used to work with Australians online a lot. And it's
right.
like, it's 24/7 because of the way the time works.
Right. Right. Well, we've got an interesting show today, and we will be dealing with eating and a holiday that basically I didn't know anything but it's about the planting of trees is what we would just talk about it in Israel. They celebrated what you just basically know as the trees. Rabbi, do y'all celebrate the trees over there today?
It's one of those holidays. It's kind of like some holidays are just goodness.
Right.
Purim is one of them because it's not very restricting.
Right.
And Tu B'Shvat, also Hanukkah, by the way. Hanukkah is one of them. But Tu B'Shvat, I think, is so good because there's no mitzvah really related to it, like not like lighting the menorah or anything. And it's like we're going to find out today, the more you get into it, it only gets good. And how do you say good? It's not dogmatic. It's not religion. It's something else. It's the Torah itself, which is why it goes over people's heads. I guess kind of like Lag BaOmer also. It's a purely good holiday.
Well, absolutely. Yeah.
And this is one of them. It's just a purely good holiday.
Right. It's not, of course, people would say, well, it's not one of the 7 that you see within the Torah, so we don't have to follow this and everything. And they really kind of miss the whole thing of what's going on here, really. I mean,
the way what you just said, the thing that's going on, you'd call that in Hebrew the inyan.
Yes.
That's the inyan of the day.
Right.
We're going to give the inyan now.
Exactly. So, we get a lot of flack sometimes because we bring diet and food into Torah. And, we've caught flack in it, in the past and everything like that. But it's really weird how people don't see food in Torah. And as we're going to get in today, even holiness and how we eat and what we eat. Even such people as the Baal Shem Tov and people like that, we're going to really talk about how these people saw the holiness within eating, that it's more than just sustaining life, that it's also can be punched into the realm of holiness also.
What we're seeing is that the Iker of Tzaddik, like the Tzaddik, again, what is the Iker? Well, the Iker of Tzaddik is someone who eats correctly.
Right.
Not for their tithes and not for taste. As we saw in an article that we're reading together about Tu B'Shvat,
right.
The tzaddik eats for the nourishment, purely the nourishment of his body, and then through that his soul gets nourished.
Right.
I mean, again, a tzaddik never sins, you could say, or a tzaddik does this, or a tzaddik does that. But the absolute ikr, like what is the inyan of the tzaddik? He who eats correctly. And today is the holiday that encapsulates that idea.
Not even the day, the month, basically, as we saw also. Even this month represents, we know Shabbat represents this. There's so much that's involved within eating. To say that Torah and eating don't go together is almost kind of crazy, to be honest with you.
The Torah never talked about ger until we found out the Torah is talking largely about ger.
Right.
And the Torah never talked about mazel.
Right.
The Torah is talking a ton of mazel.
Right.
The Torah never talked about Shem. The Torah talks often about Shem, the written or the oral Torah. And so the Torah never talks about eating and diet. It often talks about. There's in fact a lot of things in Torah that the Torah talks about that they don't mention. And I guess, I have a penchant, unfortunately, for finding those things that no one talks about, but the Torah seems to can't get enough of.
Right, and as we're going to get into here today.
I find them over and over and over. It's all I do is I find those things.
Right, exactly. And one of the first things I want to bring up here is it's talking about back 27:33. And it's talking about the verses when selecting an animal for the temple sacrifice. If a person wanted to exchange the designated animal for a different one, both animals would be considered holiness. The theme, therefore, expands holiness. In this month, we expand holiness to the realm of eating, which you just basically talked about.
Eating is, it's one of those, it really, my avodas Hashem and my spirituality has changed so fundamentally with diet that really everything else in my life stopped personally.
Right.
Now, the Ger message and my personal learning continues.
Right.
Talking about my avodas Hashem.
Right.
My serving God in my own Daled Amos.
Right.
It has gone to, it's not even, see, I made a tweet today on Twitter.
Right.
Don't use diet to mean like a fad, whatever I said over there, a fad whatever to lose temporary weight.
Right.
That's not what diet means.
No.
It's a definition, but it's not the definition. The best definition is the regimen of what you eat.
Right.
Think about it. That's what diet is. Diet is what you eat.
Right.
The Shvat is the repair of establishing your diet.
Right.
And for me, I never knew so much holiness and kavana and mindfulness went into this definition of diet.
Right.
That people work on their avodas Hashem. I daven nates. I put on tefillin this time. I wear Rabbeinu Tam tefillin. I wear blue tzitzis. Everyone's working on their avodas Hashem in the dogmatic religious sense. And I get that. That's fine. But there's so much refinement in diet and eating with kavana and holiness. It's blowing my mind. Because it's practical Kabbalah in that if my life isn't a testimony to what I'm about to say, then I give up. You can transform the physical world. There's nothing about my physicality that you can recognize from a year ago. It's insane. And it's taking the chomer, the clay and mud of God that forms you and making it into something it's superior in holiness.
I guess we can say diet is one of those Iker terms that's become very vulgar here lately because everybody ties negativity to the word when you use that.
Negativity, and it's not about that. It's about being mindful of what you put in your mouth.
Right.
You got to eat every day.
Right.
And you can either do it in a vulgar, crass way,
right,
or you can do it in a holy, mindful, intentional way.
With that, let me read this. The real pleasure of eating comes not from the physicality of the food, but the spiritual word of Hashem within the food, as it is written. For not on bread alone will man live, rather from the word of Hashem, and that's Deuteronomy 8:3. What if we could taste the spiritual reality within the physicality of the food itself? Then the word of Hashem and its exchange of the physicality would both be holy, and they would have expanded holiness into the realm of physical pleasure.
So what I have found in my, if you don't like the word diet, let's call it rectified eating habits. Applying Torah wisdom to eating is it's mind-blowing. So, you mentioned when we were off the record, that, and I clarified for you, my diet fundamentally changed this this cycle when I quit eating sugar. And again, it's not about what I'm giving up, or it's just connecting to the spirituality of eating. And it's do I need to eat my 11-year-old son's gummy bears, for the sake of the sweet tooth? It's ridiculous. I don't need that.
No.
And so I gave up sugar because I realized after the fact that it makes me feel slimy inside, but I never had the contrast. I never had coffee without sugar. And so I'm sitting down every morning eating this kind of gummy bear coffee.
Right.
And now that I'm off sugar, I'm thinking, man, that was so 5 years old of me to be doing that at 41 years old.
Right.
And so it's not about just sugar. I'm thinking, should I get a sugar substitute? And it's not just sugar, it's the sweet tooth. It's the concept of, if it doesn't taste like candy corn, I don't want it.
Right.
It's immature, it's juvenile. And so it's not about sugar, it's about the sweetness of it. At least in the chemical sense. And in the cheapened sense. So I thought, what is Diet Coke and all this stuff? And I checked out all these, where does Diet Coke taste like Coke? And it's from these chemical sweeteners that are like 300 times sweeter than sugar. So I'm drinking my coffee, and I'm thinking, I would like it to be, lying to myself sweet. And I'm trying to find a cheat code. And I tried coconut oil, but then you get the oil problem. I tried vanilla extract. It tastes like chemicals. So this morning, actually, I thought I would cheat. I thought I'm going to go to the gym and get a supplement. And because supplements taste really good. That's why I like to put protein in my shakes.
Right.
But come on. There's some reason why the supplements taste so good. It's not just about I want amino acids. It's I like the taste of it.
Right.
And I'm thinking like, you know what? Go to the gym and check it out. And I'm hoping to God it's not going to be Diet Coke. And I get to the label and I'm like, you got to be. I went to the supermarket yesterday or whatever it was, a couple of days ago. And the cereal that I gave up, Fiber One, why did I give it up? Because they put Diet Coke sweetener in there. And they always they changed it. There's like 10 types I found of these artificial sweeteners. And
right.
They're all like whatever. I got them on my email stored up. All this coast, that coast. I forget the names of them.
Right.
And so when I saw it, it's all the same thing. It's like this one's 300 times sweeter than sugar. This one's 500 times sweeter. It's all the same chemical thing. And it's like a very similar Wikipedia file for all of them. And so Fiber One, the reason why its calories are so low is because it's using the same stuff in Diet Coke.
Right.
So again, I looked in whey and I looked in all the supplements in the gym. And what was it? The Diet Coke stuff. Oh, sucralose, it's called.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, now I got an ethical issue.
Right.
I can't, if I'm quitting the Fiber One.
Right.
I was never a fan of Diet Coke, but you're not going to find me drinking Diet Coke.
No.
How can I justify not drinking Diet Coke, but getting this supplement and putting it in my coffee? You're making your coffee Diet Coke.
Right.
Don't be a hypocrite. So I didn't do it. And then I had these electrolytes because I like to replenish my fluids after a workout.
Right.
Why does it taste good? It's Diet Coke.
Right.
So I'm saying, all right, but I do at least need the electrolytes. There is something there when you can't, everything in its process will have some sugar in it. So you can't be like an Amish about it. But you don't have to go out of your way to make your coffee into Coke.
Right.
So it was just very surprising. But what I found out, I was coming home today and I thought, you know what? What if I use food not for taste, but for what it is? What if I blend coffee with almond milk and ground and nuts in the blender? So I made 6 cups of coffee and I tried different recipes for each one. Blended kiwi, and then a pineapple, nuts, dates, pomegranate seeds, and vanilla extract. And I tried little samples of each one. And I'm not sure ethically if I like what I'm doing.
Right.
But my goodness, coffee with a little bit of almond milk with 1 blended date and some nuts. Unbelievable.
Good.
But what I'm doing is I use the sweetener of dates, but you're not getting, a date is not sugar. It is a fruit that you're getting fiber, you're getting carbohydrates. It's natural.
Right.
But I'm not sure I agree with the principle of using a date to sweeten my coffee because the premise was to get out of sweetening it.
Right.
But you're gaining it back because I'm not against fattening my coffee, putting healthy fats in there.
Right.
And fats taste good. It's why we like fat.
Right.
So why not use a healthy carb?
Right.
This is called mindful eating.
Right.
Because if you want taste, just put chocolate in there.
Right.
I went to the health food store and looked at cocoa powder to see if it had high calories or not. High calories. I mean, if you want to eat clean but yet high calorie for the taste, you can put anything in there.
Right.
But if you're going for nutrition and what your body wants, dates are healthy. It's not illegal to taste good and be healthy.
Right.
But don't go Diet Coke and say it's Diet Coke.
Right.
Again, to make it a more simple argument, when you're not eating mindfully and you're going in the Doritos aisle,
Right.
you pick the Doritos that taste the best.
Right.
When you're eating mindfully, you eat what your body needs.
Right.
If you need carbs, you eat carbs. And then it will taste good because you know you're nourishing your body with what it needs.
Right.
It can't not taste good. But if you're eating only from taste perspective, how can you compare a rice cake to Doritos?
You can't.
But if you're eating mindfully, a rice cake will hit the spot and it's delicious with nothing on it.
Right.
And it's just two different paradigms of existence. And once you break your body of the candy corn, per se, and eat for what it needs and understanding food, it's liberty, it's clean, it's holy, I just feel like I've been brought out of my bondage of Egypt.
Right.
I don't have to eat what my taste buds salivate over. I mean, we want to not be an animal.
Right.
This morning I woke up and my cat was crying the blues. It ran out of food, and I woke up and he was dying of food, right? And he must have gone all night long suffering.
Poor baby.
And I saw when I moved towards the bag of food, he started licking his chops. And I'm thinking, my God, he's salivating.
Right.
You know how before you vomit, you start to like salivate?
Yes.
And lo and behold, the cat puked all over the floor. So much salivation, he puked.
Huh.
Right? He was so anticipating the food. And that's what we do to a certain extent. And he is an animal. I love the little guy, but he is an animal.
Right.
We are not to be that. It was just a very profound experience for me today.
Right. But we do the same thing too, though.
We salivate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We do the same thing.
Exactly. And when you break your body of being a Pavlov dog,
right,
it's just an unbelievable liberty. Like, I used to struggle when I was overweight. Man, what am I going to eat today? Now, the more you liberate from food, I'll even be radical. The more you restrict from food, the more food is available.
Right.
It's impossible for me to starve.
Right.
If I was overweight and look at my house now, I would be upset. There'd be nothing to eat. Now when I go look in the fridge or the pantry, there's unlimited options.
Right.
Unlimited. It's incredible. The more you restrict, the more it's available. The less you restrict, they have nothing to eat. I tried the Cool Ranch Doritos last week. I'm not impressed. Oh, Papa John's had the everything pizza. I'm not impressed.
Right.
If they only had the garlic, double butter, pepperoni, triple cheese crust, then I'd be happy. If they only brought back the volcano burrito pizza, then I'd be really happy. Burritos and pizza together with the double cheese stuffed crust pizza with the garlic spread, with the basil sauce, and the chicken wings on the side with a 2-liter Dr. Pepper, then I'd be happy. Only then will I be happy.
Right.
I just eat it, so my life is over.
Right.
I mean, I've been crying the blues since 1995 when Taco Bell discontinued the volcano burrito. They never made it right ever since that movie came out. And it's like, my good Lord, what have I been thinking for the last 30 years? I'm fantasizing about a burrito that some 16-year-old drug addict kid at Taco Bell was making about, God only knows what's in there. It's insane.
It's funny though, especially people in Kabbalah and stuff like that. They talk about trying to rid the animal's soul and stuff like that, and they want to do that in everything physical, but eating. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. They don't want to discuss it at eating.
Right, it's like Spaceballs the movie, Spaceballs the flamethrower, Spaceballs the teacher. Religion, spirituality with the fill-in, spirituality in the mezuzah, spirituality in the Sefer Torah, spirituality in your senses, spirituality in what sugar goes on first. How about what you eat? How about not eating cholent with oil and salt and all these things that God only knows what you put in there? At my Shabbos table in Yeshiva, they serve you chicken schmaltz.
Right.
Solidified chicken fat to spread on your challah, because we don't eat butter on Shabbos. We eat chicken fat butter.
Right.
It's insane. I mean, the calorie count. I mean, then people say, but the calories don't count on Shabbos. Are you nuts? Yes,
I've heard that. I've heard that.
Say, oh, it's Shabbos now. All of a sudden, the world has stopped. No. And if you don't believe me, go weigh yourself Sunday morning. Go weigh yourself.
Right.
And then you'll say, oh, the weight will magically come off. Okay, when? I'm waiting. You know? When? When during the week will that weight come off if you don't do anything about it?
I think that's one of those stories to make you feel better is what it is.
It's all it is.
Right.
It's a she-tooth.
Right.
And it's wrong.
Right.
And what is the ikar of a tzaddik? Someone who eats the
Eats
right way.
Right. 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 And also, too, why don't you go ahead and bring up, too, if you want to, the conversation about wine and Shabbos now, of how you've
so actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because I didn't even mention that to you before.
No.
So, I gave up drinking wine because I believe in being a Nazarite, a Nazir. I'm joking. As if I'm not radical enough.
I know. Here we go.
So, I gave up wine because I don't eat on Friday until Shabbos, because I want to really get my weight down going into Shabbos to give myself that calorie cushion. And when you fast going into Shabbos, alcohol hits you harder, which you could argue it's more pleasurable because you get one heck of a buzz. I'll tell you, 2 cups of fish wine, and you haven't eaten all day, you are pretty good. It's really amazing. I mean, it's amazing. And if I was single or whatever, maybe I would still do it. Again, we're only talking 2 little Kiddush cups. We're not talking a lot of alcohol. It's just nice. But, man, with a wife and kids, I just can't wait to go get my pajamas on and get on the couch and pass out and just nap. Because I'm tired. It's the end of the week. And, yeah, physically, it's amazing.
Right.
I got a baby coming due in Gemini season.
Right.
I've already had 2 babies. There's nothing worse than your wife saying, dear, can you change Junior's diaper when you are passed out on the couch? And she's like, I changed the last 25 diapers. It's your turn. You're like, but you don't understand. I'm Jewish, and I'm spiritual, and I'm holy, and it's Friday night. And I had Kiddush like a real Jew. Honey, yeah, okay, we're Jewish, but be real. Go change the diaper. So I don't want that wake-up call.
Right.
I know.
Right.
I want to be alert. I don't want that fight. So this past Friday, we were running late. We didn't get the grape juice. And so I'm at the mall, which is where the gym is. And I thought, you know what? I think I might celebrate. I haven't drank wine in a long time.
Right.
The grocery's closed. Only store open in the mall is the wine market.
Right.
So I got a nice bottle of wine. And I had my wine on Friday night. And I made Kiddush on Shabbos morning. And it was horrible. Mine was horrible. I did not enjoy Friday night. I did pass out on the couch.
Right.
I just felt lethargic and slow and dumb all day Shabbos day.
Right.
I'm not drinking wine again.
Right.
I certainly could. It's up to me.
Right.
But not only did I give it up back in the day for a real reason and a cause.
Right.
My body changed.
Right.
My body now has rejected it.
Right.
Which I'm very proud of, because it shows that there's a real wisdom to this. If it was just nourishkeit, I'm giving up this and I'm restricting this, the answer is it makes you a lesser caliber man.
Right.
And I had the wisdom of, changing the diaper, and I was not a very caliber person this Shabbos. Not compared to what I could be. And I'm very happy that my body said, no, man, we've moved on.
Right.
Just like, when you're 25, 30, whatever years old, you don't go trick-or-treating with kids in your neighborhood.
I didn't.
You just don't. And you don't go to Walmart and buy a big bag of Twix and celebrate Halloween by yourself. You don't. You don't watch a movie with your wife and go get a big tub of popcorn. You just don't.
Right.
Certain things you move on in life and you just don't.
Right.
Getting buzzed with a great Kiddush was maybe great in my 30s.
Right.
Just young man and moving on. But in my 40s now?
Right.
No. I gave up trick-or-treating at, 12 years old. I gave up certain things at certain ages. You know what I'm saying? I was done partying after my senior year of high school.
Right.
That was done. Very short-lived.
Right.
The college life was maybe a semester long. You're supposed to move on.
Right.
From driving fast when I got my driver's license.
Right.
Okay, I don't gun it at a red light anymore.
No.
Don't do that.
No.
No, it's not cool to go around the corners like a madman. Drive safe like a grandpa.
No.
And don't get speed. Just be normal.
Right.
You don't get points for being wild and crazy.
Not no more.
And just, just the whole shot. I mean, just drunk, buzzed, wine, kiddish.
Right.
I'm not saying you have to quit drinking wine, but I'm just so happy my body says, let your wife make kiddish, and if not, make it on grape juice,
Well, since you're here, how about your Shabbos now that you've given up bread also with the challah?
Yeah, so, I mean, bread is just, we covered that, but I'm so glad to be done with bread and fantasizing about staring at the bread basket and, how many pieces should I have? If I had 150 grams or 200 grams, because the calories add up.
Right.
And so when you make a calorie budget, or in the Tu B'Shvat sense, eating mindfully,
right,
people don't realize we have a budget for everything.
Right.
If I want to make fun of you, Mike, and I want to get have a pet name for you, like, hey, Mike, dude, there's a budget for that.
Right.
Wear real thin, real quick. Everything's got a budget, and so eating right gives you budget mentality.
Right.
And so when you come to your diet, and we're not talking losing weight diet, we're talking about what you include in your regimen of food.
Wisdom.
You only have so much available. Right. You don't have an endless amount of caloric room in your stomach.
No.
You think you do. Your body only burns a certain amount, and it's going to start making fat, whether you like it or not. Right. What can you afford?
Right.
If you want a bag of Twix bars, you better be able to afford it.
Right.
And I assure you, you will not afford it, whether it's the fat, the cholesterol, the sugar, the salt, whatever it is, your body will, because if you're eating that, you're eating other stuff.
Right.
And so bread has no room in my budget.
Right.
It's like, hey, you want to go out for an expensive vacation? No, Mike, I can't afford that. Hey, you want to get blah, blah, blah. No, I can't afford that.
Right.
I can't afford bread.
Right.
I cannot afford it.
Right.
And my meal Friday night costs me a whole day's worth of eating.
Right.
Because I like what I can afford.
Right.
I can afford about 2 bowls of soup.
Right.
I make a really nice chicken vegetable soup with fresh vegetables.
Right.
Very healthy. And I make like a cholent that we a very healthy cholent, not a junky one with oil and stuff. I only put in good stuff.
Right.
And with all the things equal, because I do try the soup and the cholent before Shabbos. It's a mitzvah to taste your Shabbos food before. I want to make sure that I spiced it right and it came out okay.
Right.
And so that and you'll say, well, tasting it doesn't cost any calorie points. It's food, and you ate it. So that little bowl of soup, that cost. And that little bowl of cholent, it costs. And the kiddish grape juice costs. It all costs. And so I make choices based on budget and what my body needs. It's a whole different perspective. And again, bread doesn't fit my budget. It's not worth it.
Right. 200
grams of what? I'm not full. I'm not satiated. It didn't do anything for me. I just threw out like $600, calories, dollars, for the fun of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know about you, but I don't have $600 to spend.
No.
It's like dates. You can eat 10 dates and spend a ton of money. Right. Here, I'll tell you right now. I always forget the number. Dates, for whatever reason, I can never remember how much they cost. But I'll tell you. 10 dates is not a lot of food, is it?
No.
So you want to have your dessert on Shabbos of 10 dates, right?
Right.
And we're talking about Tu B'Shvat, eating the fruits, the dried fruits. Everyone on Tu B'Shvat is going to be eating these dates.
Right.
Everybody. Here, I want you to eat 10 of them. Okay? 10 dates.
Right.
How many calories did you spend, Mike?
A bunch. I would eat.
10 dates. It's not even a dent in your stomach. I can probably eat 50 of them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you how much 50 of them cost in a second.
What?
How much are 10 dates?
I know. No.
700.
Gee, manetly.
If you eat 50 dates.
Right.
Now you'll be full.
Yeah.
But I can put down 50 dates.
Right.
3,500 calories.
That's 2 days. Good God.
We're just saying you went to the store, and you know what? I'll make it easy on you. You can buy the pitted dates, so you can just pop them like pills.
Yeah.
And how many grams is that? I'm not sure how many grams it is, but it's 50. I'll tell you actually. Hold on. Let's do one serving is about 33 grams. So 50 times, what did I say, 33?
Yep.
It's 1.5 kilograms. If you can't eat 1.5 kilograms of anything, everybody can put down 1.5 kilograms of food.
Right.
It's not hard. You'll be full, but if you choose that to be your 1.5 kilograms, 3,500. And I'll be fair. Let's split it in half. I'll give you 25.
Right.
You know, you're just, it's movie night or whatever. You got some beers in you, right? 1,700.
That's a day.
A whole day's worth of eating.
That's a day.
Right. And I'll be even more fair.
Right.
15.
Right.
1,000. Right there. Boom! 1/3, more than 1/3 of your day. 15 dates.
Now I could find better ways of spending that.
And this is just the reality we live in. When you understand the reality.
Right.
I realized today, rather than having a date addiction, of getting carried away. Here, I actually forgot to check it. What if I do 1 date a morning in my coffee?
Right.
70 calories. So with my milk, my almond milk, you're talking about 100 calories in the morning.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
Out of like 1,800 calories, what's 100 on breakfast? I'm not eating until after lunch.
Right. Exactly.
And it's not artificial. It's not sugar.
Right.
It's you're getting the fiber. You're getting the carbs. You're getting the protein.
Right.
It's not fake. It's a fruit.
Right.
I'm not sure ethically if I think it's right, to flavor it was for the sweetened perspective.
Right.
I'd rather put fat in there because I'm not addicted to fat.
Right.
I don't have a fat issue.
Right.
I'm not sure yet.
Right.
But to me, this is all about Torah. You see why it's Talmudic in thinking?
Yes, I do. I understand. I have no problem with it. No.
None of this is taste-based.
Right.
It's ethics, it's morals, it's principles, it's thinking, it's just reality.
Right.
Mindfulness. What are you doing? And why are you doing it? Because guess what? If you choose wrong,
right,
you're choosing from the Yetzer, and it becomes a taiva, an addiction.
Right.
And there's consequences.
Right.
When you get addicted, you got to get unaddicted.
Right.
So if I start getting addicted to something, even the right way, you have to be prepared to unaddict yourself.
Right. So
you better choose right.
Right.
If you start eating Doritos, you got to uneat the Doritos. If you start putting a ton of salt in your food, you have to undo that. I don't want to undo it anymore. I want to undo the stuff I should have been undoing a long time ago.
Right.
You're an alcoholic. Good luck undoing that.
Right.
You smoke cigarettes. Good luck undoing that.
Right.
It's about being mindful of what you put in and feed your body.
Right.
From your eyes, your ears. These are all holes.
Right.
You feed them by looking around and listening to Lashon Hara and what you eat and smelling perverse things.
Right.
Be careful.
Right. It's amazing.
It all goes right to your soul.
Right. It's amazing, Rabbi, that people, and this is not I'm not making fun of this or putting light on this at all, but the details a Jewish home will go through is try to make sure toilet paper's ripped apart, make sure this is done, this done, this done. They go through all of these things, making sure this light's not on and stuff. Yet the most important thing they can do within themselves is their eating, they care nothing about.
Yeah, but let's judge merit with merit. What is a tzaddik? Someone who eats right.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
There's got to be a distinction between the tzaddik and the non-tzaddik.
Right.
But I think a lot of people life dictates the sugya, meaning you're going to move in this direction.
Right.
I thought about it. The whole point of life is to eat the candy corn.
Right.
You're not going to not do it when you're 5, 10 years old.
Right.
Right? You're going to drink when you go to college. You're going
Right.
to do these things. In the second part of life, 40 and onwards, is just undoing all these things.
Breaking
you know?
those habits.
What does the Torah want is to stop taking illicit pleasure from this world.
Right.
And I thought, it's not about never having done it, because you can't help but to have done it. You went to college. You went to grade school.
Right.
You know, you were an idiot kid and you couldn't not be.
Right.
And so when you move on, you start to undo the damage, and it's proper tshuva, but you're designed to undo, and you are designed to do in order to undo.
Right.
You know, you looked at girls when you were younger.
Right.
And then when you get older, I'll tell you, being married at 41 the second time than the first time, I've learned so much just about the nature of male-female.
Right.
That I kind of got it the first time. I was only 29 when I got married. And so it was a very holy marriage.
Right.
But the concept of cheating in women is so repulsive. And, you know, I'll just speak graphically to you. And it's disgusting, but it's serious. One of the things I learned going into this marriage was always be acceptable to your spouse. Don't be gross. And that takes effort.
Right.
And work. And again, it's a discipline of hygiene, not because you have to brush your teeth, because it's a responsibility to mankind, whether to your wife or breathing heavy at the people you work with.
Right.
They don't need to smell your bad breath.
No.
And when you're a kid, it's kind of funny. Oh, you know, it's like gross, right?
Right.
To be gross physically is repulsive. But you don't, it's like candy corn. You don't care about the chemicals when you're 5. Do you realize the disgusting level of going home with someone you don't know?
Oh.
It's hard enough to stay kosher. When I say kosher, I clean and responsible and groomed in marriage.
Right.
Imagine if the gloves are off.
Right.
And all bets are off.
Right.
Why in the world would you want that? That's like getting food from a restaurant that's not regulated.
Mm-mm.
Why in the world would you eat there?
Mm-mm.
You have no idea what they're putting in the food.
Nope.
And my son, he would be all over it. Oh, Abba, it smells amazing. Proven, they're just pouring the oil into that thing.
Right.
So when all bets are off, you wouldn't eat it. Why would you be intimate with it? It's just beyond gross.
Right.
Or smoking something. Go do drugs. Do you even, seriously?
Right.
Is the drug dealer here to help your cause? God only knows what he can lace it with.
No.
Think about this guy.
He used to get you hooked, not to help you.
But think about who he is.
Right.
And what he could do to that stuff.
Right.
God only knows what he's doing with it.
Right.
This is the opposite of holiness.
Right.
Drugs, things you put in your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your ears. You don't want any part of that.
No.
So eating right is about getting it right.
Right.
Ingesting the holiness.
Right.
You know, marriage, holy eating, holy listening, holy breathing. You don't want the stuff that's not. Just think about it.
Well, it kind of reminds me is, people want to get spiritual, and that's cool. And they're very spiritual with their Torah study and stuff like that. But like we said, they don't want to make the normal things we do every day. They are to be holy also, with eating, sleeping, conversations, and all that stuff.
That's it. I mean, Torah is a tree of life.
Right.
And like Adam didn't eat of it, but you're not going to eat of it until you consciously, I don't know if you would say want or choose. It's just, you got to consciously do it.
Right.
I have no reason to not drink wine.
Right.
None. I'm not a Nazir.
Right.
I'm not a radical. I'm not, it's just tree of knowledge of the good and evil.
Right.
Some say that was the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
Heard that. I've heard it.
Tree of knowledge or tree of life. I'm just I'm in a phase where I'm choosing tree of life. And what is Tu B'Shvat? The holiday trees.
Right.
Eat the tree of life.
Right.
And it's a hard choice, not because, oh man, Doritos or God. Because you just don't know about the tree of life until you know about it.
That's right.
There's no reason to not drink wine.
Right.
Until you've been around the block long enough that you realize that diaper's not going to change itself.
No.
And it's exploitation to have everybody else changing your kid's diaper.
Right.
And you're going to pay for it.
Right.
And Friday night is the night that they're going to want you to do it. And I'm telling you, you're going to pay for it.
Right.
It's taking the girl home for the bar. You can do it. You're going to pay for it.
Oh, yes.
Eating the food at the mall with the oil, you're going to pay for it.
Right.
Everything you do, eating beyond your budget, living beyond your financial budget, you're going to pay for it.
Right.
At what point are you tired of paying for it?
Right.
When do you want to be in surplus?
Right.
When do you want to get ahead of the game?
Right.
You can be behind the 8 ball you want. But don't tell me you're happy being behind the 8 ball. You're not.
Right.
No one's happy losing.
No.
And winning is about being guilt-free. When I say guilt-free, it's that how do you say guilt in this respect? Just knowing that you're good. You know, you're okay.
Right.
You know, I'm not going to get a speeding ticket because I don't speed.
No.
You know, I'm not a reckless driver, so still an accident can happen, but I'm not living on the edge.
Right.
You know, when you get your work done, you feel satisfaction, I guess is the word I'm saying.
Right.
You know, winning is about satisfaction. No, and that's what they say in sports, right? The satisfaction is I put the work in, and this is wrestling 101. I put the work in and I won, not because I'm this or that, because it's what the work does. You put the work in, you win.
Right.
It's the satisfaction saying, that's right, I put the work in.
Right.
You know, I should change the diaper Friday night. I put the work in.
Right.
It's antithetical to not.
Right. And to be that helpmate too, because your wife needs it. She needs it.
I didn't raise my kids the last 11 years in order to say, for the next kid, I'm not going to change a diaper. You know, you go from strength to strength. You don't go backwards.
No, you don't. You don't. Okay, well, I think we've gone to our time limit here, and we didn't get much more into the article, but you brought out everything dealing with the thing, because the scripture does say to taste and see that the Lord is good, and I think you did a very good job covering all of that towards the end of this.
It's just it's like we said, holy eating, holy taste, holy right intentions, and I guess what I've done in this interview is I for my own personal life, I'm living a Tu B'Shvat message, and what better example to teach from than what I'm living currently? Absolutely. That's it.
Absolutely. Okay, so www.getsostrong.com. Go check it out. And if you need to contact us, it's got a contact button there. You can contact Rabbi Katz, and he'll get back with you. And I guess until next time, say so long, Rabbi Katz.
So long, Rabbi Katz.
Very good. So awesome. So until next time, we'll chat at you later. Have a great week. Thank you.